Well, hello everybody, what's going on in your world? My name is Conor McGilligan, this is the Rumour Wrap, and we're speaking Paixão. This is what the video is pretty much going to be dedicated to today, if I'm honest with you, and we're going to be speaking about the detail in and around him and the moving parts overnight, and what Leeds United can expect, what Feyenoord are expecting, what Marseille are doing. It is a complex situation. Now, if you're to ask me right now, gun to my head, what I think, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm just not sure this one gets done. The second coming of Rafinha, will this one get done? Is there a likelihood this one gets done? Leeds submitting a bid of 26 million quid. I firmly believe Leeds United, and we mentioned this yesterday, will be able to go in access, and obviously the bid was in access of 26 million quid, which means obviously it's a lot more, but I feel like Leeds United will be able to outstrip 100% Marseille, 100% Roma as well. But I've just got a feeling, and look, there are reports here, there and everywhere. You look at Foot Mercato this morning, they are being very, very specific and suggesting that, if you're to read in, and Santi FM as well is suggesting that he wants the Marseille move. There's been an agreement, that's something we know as well. There is an agreement with Marseille from the player. We don't know how far this is with Leeds United. That's my only worry with it. Now, is there a player agreement there, or is it just talks at this moment in time between the clubs? We know Leeds have offered. There's Foot Mercato this morning suggesting now that Marseille have matched the bid. So there's conflicting reports here, there and everywhere really when it comes to Paixão, and you're stuck thinking to yourself, well, what do we believe? You look at Sky Sports, they're saying that he'd be really interested in the move to Leeds United, he'd be interested in a move to the Premier League. But then Foot Mercato have mentioned this morning, and Santi FM has mentioned this morning, that they're confident, they're relatively confident still, Marseille, that they can get this deal done, and Paixão wants the move to Marseille. And if you read between the lines, it's almost like they're allowing Leeds and Roma to get involved with negotiations to maybe push it forward and say to Marseille, look, if you don't get this one done, if you don't come and agree to our terms, of which we broke down yesterday on the Room Mill, of what they can do and what they can't do, Marseille, when it comes to their financial implications, it looks like maybe Paixão's agent, albeit Leeds United have bid a really good amount and potentially could get this one done, but it feels maybe the agent is playing the clubs a little bit against each other here. That's my perception of it, and reading the game, knowing a few people in the football sphere as well, this is what agents do. Agents do this a lot, and why do they do it? It's to get the best terms for the agent and the player ultimately. So you wonder if Leeds are just being played a little bit here by Paixão's agent. He ultimately wants the Marseille move. There has been the only agreement when it comes to Paixão, player agreement anyway, from what we know, which has been publicised with Marseille. Leeds have offered a bid, of which now it has been suggested from the French side of things, and if you are to believe reports, which there are many out there, that now Leeds' bid matches that of Marseille. So it's still very confusing. I still think Marseille is struggling cash-wise. That's what I think. I don't think there's been massive movement overnight. But what is interesting now is when it comes down to Foot Mercato, and when it comes to reports out there as of like half an hour ago, 35 minutes ago, it feels like Marseille is still well in the race, and I think it's probably been a lot of it when you look at the specifics of it. It's basically down to Paixão. It's down to Paixão. It's what he wants, and I don't know why. If I'm being honest with you guys, I just don't feel like Leeds are going to get this one done. I think there's naturally going to be movement a little bit, and it's not Leeds' fault. I think Leeds will be able to put up the cash. This is basically Rafinha 2.0 in terms of where we bought Rafinha from and the trajectory he had, the potential he had, and then what happened in terms of his blow up. I think it's very similar with Paixão right now. I think the Rafinha sale, in terms of look where you could be, is going to be amazing, of course. I'm just not sure that I'm convinced, and I don't know anything behind the scenes or anything like that, I'm just not sure. There's too many moving parts here. There's definitely the agent who's doing a little bit of work behind the scenes in terms of getting the best offer for him and his player. Marseille is still there. It does feel like he's keen on Marseille when it comes to Paixão. But then Sky Sports are reporting that he's keen on a move to Leeds, he's interested in the project. But once again, like I've said, Foot Mercato this morning, they're suggesting that Marseille is still there. Marseille is still very confident, which strikes a little bit of fear into you. There feels like there's got to be something going on behind the scenes if they're very confident that they might get this deal done. So as I say, everybody, a lot of people saying, Conor, have you heard anything overnight? What's going on? Where's the rumour mill? Well, normally I don't do the rumour mill on a weekend anyway, and we will be back with the hardline tomorrow with Gabe, but this will be an outstanding signing. It would be an outstanding signing. It just feels right now that, and it's not to say Leeds aren't in the race. That's not, I don't read it like that. I don't read it like Leeds are not in the race. I do read it a little bit like maybe the agent is playing a little bit here when it comes to Roma. Roma, we mentioned yesterday, there's no way Roma are going to be able to afford him. And I said this yesterday on the rumour mill. And then, backed up by that, Foot Mercato have suggested that the Paixão's agent has actually just offered him to Roma. So once again, this kind of backs up the whole theory of, is he just trying to play the clubs against each other so Marseille can actually stump up that fee and they can get everything signed, sealed and delivered? You know, well, if you're not paying for him, he's going to Roma or he's going to Leeds. Leeds have now made a heavy bid. Roma could make a bid as well. So if you do not put in the right money for our client, for Mr. Paixão, then you're not going to get him. But it does feel like, I mean, Roma have got a 30 million euro budget for this season, for the remainder of their transfer window, confirmed by Roma Press as well, which is a very good source for Roma news. They're not going to be able to afford him, but it's interesting how it's now been publicised that Roma are suddenly in the race. It's like, well, they're not in the race, are they? If we put our sensible heads on, Roma aren't in the race. They've not, according to some of the Italian reports I've been reading this morning, Gazzetta dello Sport, Roma like him, they're interested, but they've not even inquired. They've not even gone to that first step yet. A lot of it is this agent talk, and apparently he's been offered to Roma by said agent. So feels like a lot of agent talk, feels like a lot of what is going on. I think it's very much in the middle. I've given you guys my opinion before. I'm not sure this one gets done. I've just got a feeling Marseille might be his preference. I don't know. But Leeds clearly, if they are willing to bid, similarly to what Rodrigo Muniz, if they're willing to bid that amount of money, Leeds evidently still feel that there is something to be done there. You've just got it. You just have this feeling that it's 50-50, but in my head I'm a little bit more, it's 70-30 towards Marseille. No matter what's happened with the bid, you can put a bid in, and reports where the first bid was rejected, Leeds have gone in with another bid, but obviously we know that the official bid is in excess of 26 million, which, if you're to believe, you know, official reports, Sky Sports, etc., that's the biggest bid yet, and Marseille are struggling to match that. So a lot of reports flying around this morning, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Are you confident? Are you not confident? Check out the bits from yesterday. Shout out to all of you. I think there was 22,000 views on the Room Mill yesterday, over 2.2k likes. But let us know what you think in the comment section below. We'll be back with the hard line, talking about the hard stuff tomorrow from 7 p.m. It's been a pleasure, everyone. See you in a bit.